Live via satellite from Hollywood, it's ROCKLINE, the show where you interview the hottest stars in rock and roll. Hello again, I'm Bob Coburn. ROCKLINE is brought to you in part by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Tonight, ROCKLINE is an evening with Mike and the Mechanics. So get your questions ready and call us toll-free at 1-800-344-ROCK. That's 1-800-344-7625. One number toll-free from anywhere in North America. Living Years by Mike and the Mechanics was released last year with high expectations. Well, the reality certainly must have exceeded their hopes because the album has already yielded 2 hits, including a #1 single. And there's more to come. The band is concluding a successful North American tour and recently played to an audience of some 75,000. It's a pleasure for ROCKLINE to welcome one of the hottest acts in rock and roll, Mike and the Mechanics. From the band with us tonight, Mike Rutherford. Good to see you.
Good evening. This is Mike here.
Nice to have you in the studio tonight. Last time you were with us was from London at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I kind of prefer it this way, you know.
A little bit better, yeah. Also with us tonight, Paul Carrick. Welcome back,
Hi, Bob.
Paul.
How you doing?
And the other Paul in the band, Paul Young. Nice to have you
How
here.
you doing, Bob?
Doing fine tonight. Now, you had that big concert down in Tampa. There were, I guess, 75,000 people down there. That had to be a thrill to play in front of a crowd like that.
It was, actually. I mean, I think... also, we were surprised how well the music worked. I mean, it was our first time playing in a big crowd.
It works better in front of more people, I think.
Well, I agree with that.
The more, the better, huh? That was a concert that involved our affiliate down there, YNF, 95 YNF in Tampa. Were you the only band playing? Were there other bands on the venue there?
There were a couple of other bands on, actually. Yeah. A new band from Canada. What was their name, though? Actually, nobody else was on with us, but can't think of it.
They were called the new band from Canada.
Yeah, they were real good.
Now, you only have a couple of North American dates scheduled so far. What's next for the band? You have a new single that's out right now that we're going to hear in just 1 second, Seeing is Believing. Have you shot a video for that as well?
Yes, in fact, a few minutes ago, Paul...
Very surprised, Bob, you didn't see the world premiere tonight on MTV.
Yeah.
I was getting ready for this tonight here. So.
I won't let you off then.
But the world premiere was tonight on MTV.
Yeah.
Yep. We've got another 5 shows here on the West Coast.
Paul's gone back with Nick Lowe and Mike's...
Yes, on MTV it said that as soon as we finish that I'm doing a Genesis album and Paul's doing an album with Nick Lowe, which is not true. Paul will tell you later on about his solo album, and we're taking a break before the next tour, which happens towards the end of July.
Good. Let's listen to the song right now that is the brand new single. That the video was world premiered last night on MTV. This is Seeing is Believing, Mike and the Mechanics on Rock. Another great song off the second album by Mike and the Mechanics, Living Years. Seeing is Believing, the name of that on ROCKLINE. I'm Bob Coburn. We're with Paul, and Mike from Mike and the Mechanics. Our first call tonight is from Dayton, Ohio. It's Kathleen, a listener of 105 WTUE. Good evening, Kathleen.
Oh, good evening. My question is, what influenced or inspired Mike Rutherford to write Seeing is Believing, and could he write a song for all the people in the world who cannot see?
Well, good question. I wrote that song with B.A. Robertson, and it's Brian's lyric, really. We mulled it around together, but it's not so much for people who can't see, it's more for people who rule their life by the wrong feelings. I think the song is really saying that don't believe all the things people tell you and you hear and you see on the TV or information you get. Believe really in yourself and your own feelings, which I guess comes to the same thing.
So in this sense, seeing is almost a euphemism for feeling something.
Sure.
Yeah. Good call, Kathleen. Thank you for starting us off. We'll take a brief time out and return in just 1 moment. Just beginning an evening with Mike and the Mechanics on ROCKLINE on the Global Satellite Network. Your number to call is toll-free, 1-800-344-ROCK. And welcome back to ROCKLINE. It's an evening with Mike and the Mechanics. I'm Bob Coburn. We have another new affiliate to welcome to ROCKLINE tonight, 97 Quick, WQWK in University Park, Pennsylvania. Nice to have you aboard tonight. We'd love to hear from you. We have a call now from Concord, California. It's AJ. He's listening to 97.3 The Rocker in San Francisco. Hi there, AJ.
Hi Bob. Paul and Mike.
Hi there. Mm-hmm.
Okay, my question's for Paul Carrick. I was wondering if either Mike Rutherford and or producer Christopher Neal helped write any of those songs on your last solo album. One good reason, and if they're going to contribute to the next solo album.
I wrote a couple of them with Chris Neal. But in fact, no, I'm going to start recording again in May. Chris won't be producing this one, so I don't think we'll be writing together. I've written about a dozen songs so far, and I'm pretty pleased with them. I've written them with various people, Nick Lowe and Chris Difford from Squeeze, Michael McDonald, blah, blah, blah. We haven't got together with Mike yet to write any, but, you know, it's not too late. But anyway, yeah, that's it.
Now, you say you'll be recording in May, which is very close now. Are you going back to the UK to do the recording?
No, I'm not. No,
You're going to do it here in the States?
I'm going to have about a week off here, and then I'm going up to New York to start recording, yeah.
All right, good luck with that.
Thank you.
We have a call now. Thank you, AJ, for calling, by the way, from Michelle in West Palm Beach. She is listening to 97 GTR in Miami. And Michelle, you're on with Mike and the Mechanics.
Hi, guys.
Hello there.
Hi. Could you say a quick hello to Mike at 97 GTR for me? Okay, what
Hello, Mike. At 97.
It was quick. It was very quick.
what is the variation between the U.S. audiences and those of the Europe audiences?
I think it's pretty much the same thing. We go down great with everyone.
Ever diplomatic Paul Young, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
How has response been in Europe and in England especially?
It's been surprisingly good.
Because a lot of times bands become popular here in North America, and the case is not the same, especially in England.
We didn't find the initial success in Europe that we did in America in '86, but we've just been around there about 4 weeks ago, and things are picking up there. So
that's right. You actually started touring this time over in Europe, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right.
Good call, Michelle. Thank you. We appreciate it. Let's talk to Gail now. Gail is in Escondido, California, a listener of Magic 102 FM in San Diego. And Gail, you're on the Rockline.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hello.
Hi. I just wanted to tell you guys, first of all, that I love you. I think you're wonderful. And I also wanted to ask you, Mike, you had 2 solo albums before you hooked up with the Mechanics.
Yeah.
How do you feel about them now, and did they help you with your success with the Mechanics?
Yeah, I think it's all part of what I did. That was Paul's stomach there, that funny groan in the middle. I mean, I guess as you can probably tell, I'm a lot happier with the Mechanics, working with these guys, and it's more fun, I think. And I realised that actually I produce better results working with other people than on my own. But it was part of a process. I mean, maybe I had to go through those 2 albums to learn that this is the right direction for me to take.
There you go, Gail. Thank you for calling, and call us again sometime. We're going to now go back to the first album by Mike and the Mechanics. This was a big hit for the band. This is Silent Running on ROCKLINE on the Global Satellite Network. Call us. We're live. Call now. 1-800-344-ROCK. And once again, welcome back. We got a Rockline rolling tonight with Mike and the Mechanics with Mike Rutherford, Paul Carrick, and Paul Young. Our next call from Boca Raton, Florida. It's Barbara. She's listening to 97 GTR in Miami. Barbara, you're on the show with us.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello there.
Oh.
Hi. My husband and I enthusiastically attended your very first concert ever at Sunrise, Florida, June of '86, and again last month. We trust you received our wedding invitation, and you guys would sign it and return it to us. My question is for you, Mike. Your last album shows me a recurring theme through each song, and that is, to me, that each of us as human beings have the ability and the obligation to unite in brotherhood. I'd like to know 2 things. First, who writes most of your lyrics? And secondly, how will you use your God-given talents to make this world a better place for all of us through your next album?
Right.
And what's your favorite color?
Yeah. Yes, we got the thing about the wedding, and I think it's being taken care of. Now, about the lyrics, I write the songs so far pretty much with Chris Neal and B.A. Robertson, and with me and B.A., he does the lyrics pretty much. Me and Chris, we sort of share the duties. There wasn't an intentional lyrical theme on the album as such. But I think what tends to happen is you make an album at a certain point in time, and everyone's thoughts and feelings are how everyone is at that moment is out, as if it's a concept. And part 3, if my brain's still working, about how to make the world a better place, I don't see it as my responsibility. I think...
It's mine.
I think that's the answer.
There you go, Barbara. Thank you for the call. Good luck with your marriage, too. Let's talk now to Jason in Vancouver, British Columbia. He's listening to 99.3 The Fox. Hi there, Jason.
Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Happy belated birthday wishes to Mr. Carrick.
Thank you, sir.
My question, I have a couple. Firstly, will Vancouver be a date on this tour? And the second one for Mike, concerning Red 7, does he know what they're up to? And does he plan to, maybe as the time presents itself, maybe collaborate again with them?
I'm afraid Vancouver is not on our schedule this time, but we're hoping to come back late July through to early September, and then we'll definitely take in Vancouver. Red 7, I'm not sure. The singer, Gene Stashuk, I think is working on a solo album at the moment. I might see them when we're in San Francisco because they come from there, but I haven't heard much from them recently.
There you are, Jason. The only dates that I have remaining that are scheduled definitely right now for Mike and the Mechanics, tomorrow night at the Universal Amphitheater here in Los Angeles, then Berkeley, California on Thursday night, Friday, San Jose, and Fresno on Saturday night. We're going to move now to San Gabriel, California, and speak with Allison. She's listening to 95.5 KLOS, and we welcome her to the Rockline. Hi, Allison.
Hi, Bob. Hi, boys.
Hello.
I'm looking forward to your show tomorrow night, and my question is from Michael. It's regarding a song you wrote a while back called Making a Big Mistake on the Against All Odds soundtrack.
Yep.
Did you write the song for the movie, or was it just something you had lying around with Genesis or for a solo album?
It's something I had that was lying around, and I think I got involved in the film through Taylor Hackford, who was working with Phil at that time. And they were short of, they wanted a song, so I put this one up for possibilities, and I sang it, God forbid, and no, it's a good song.
We didn't say it was. But, by the way, we're not playing at Universal tomorrow, are we?
No, I was going to say, Allison, when you go to the show tomorrow night, you're going to be the only one there because it's Wednesday night. Have yourself a good time there, Allison. Thanks for calling. Let's talk to Rick now in Toledo, Ohio. FM 104 is our affiliate there. And Rick, you're on the Rockline.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
This question for Mike. I know you used to work with Anthony Phillips on your first solo albums, and you know, on some of his albums. And I was wondering if you were planning to ever do any work with him, and how is his career going as far as you know?
At the moment, there's no plans. I'm still a good friend of Anthony's, but as he said to me the other day, he's now suddenly, since the New Age thing came in, he's suddenly become kind of fashionable again. Still doing the same thing, still writing very good songs, but I'm not sure his exact current plans at the moment.
There you go, Rick. Thank you for being on the Rockline tonight. We're going to let Greg have his turn in Jacksonville, Florida. Rock 105 is our station there. You're on with Mike and the Mechanics, Greg.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Fine. My question's for Mr. Rutherford. How do the attitudes and just the ways that you write songs with Genesis members Phil Collins and Tony Banks differ from when you write with the other members of the Mechanics? And do you plan to still write songs with the other members of the Mechanics?
I do the same kind of thing. I mean, it's just different people, to be honest. One's attitudes are the same. And so far with the Mechanics, on the second part, this last album was written mainly with Chris Neal and B.A. Robertson, but I would like to try and... I mean, the Mechanics is still a fairly new thing. I could see us getting involved writing with both the Pauls here, and they're both very good songwriters, and kind of opening out a little bit, I think.
Greg, there you go. Thank you for being on the Rockline tonight. We're going to play a song now from the most recent album by Mike and the Mechanics, Living Years. This one is called Beautiful Day on the Global Satellite Network. We're with Mike and Paul from the band, and our next call is Tom from Daytona Beach, listener of WDIZ in Orlando. Good evening, Tom.
Hello.
Hi.
I saw you guys in Daytona on your kickoff concert. I thought you were great.
Thank you.
And I was just wondering, considering the amount of time that you spend on tour and the loudness of the amplifiers and everything, I was wondering, do you take any precautions to, preserve your hearing?
Pardon?
What? I think Paul knows about loud music and hearing.
I've been deaf for a few years now, and it certainly helps my career.
No, we don't. In fact, it's not that loud on stage. It may be louder sometimes out front for you because you've got the PA. We're behind the PA, so we're safe.
It really depends where you're sitting, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and on stage it's not nearly as bad. You sit in the first couple of rows or next to a speaker.
It actually
and
depends where you stand on stage as well.
Uh-huh.
It's louder in certain places.
Tom, thanks for calling. Glad you enjoyed the concert back there in Florida. We're going to talk now to Jeff in Marquette, Michigan, listener of WMQT in Ishpeming, Michigan. And Jeff, you're on the Rock Line.
How are you doing tonight, guys?
Okay.
Very well.
This question is directed to Mike. I enjoyed your song, Nobody's Perfect, and what I want to know is what specific event in your life that inspired you to write that song?
Well, that's the song I wrote with B.A. Robertson, and it's his lyric. I think it's really about the idea that, and I like the idea too, is that, it's not a perfect world. Things are not black and white. People do make mistakes and things go wrong, and that isn't so terrible. I mean, as long as you learn from your mistakes and get on with life, then it's not such a bad thing.
There you go, Jeff. Good call. Thank you for being on tonight. Somebody I work with played the song, Gino Michelini, and said, nobody's perfect, but we sure do expect it of each other. And there's definitely some truth in that. Jeff, thanks for being on. Let's talk to Tim now in Albany, New York. Pix 106 is our station there. And Tim, you're on the show with us.
Hi, Mike, Paul, and Paul.
Hello
How you
there.
doing?
First, I'd like to say I recently saw your show in Albany. It was spectacular.
Thank you.
Second, for Mike, I'd like to know your feelings about the song Living Years, which I personally, and I'm sure thousands of other people who have lost loved ones can relate to. And did you know it was going to be such a moving song when you recorded it?
No, the Living Years history, briefly, was I had the music first with B.A. and he came in one day and said, I want to call this song Living Years and write it about that subject matter. And we just both lost our fathers the year before, so it was very, I suppose, delicate for us. And we thought very carefully about whether we should write the song or not, about that subject matter. And we decided that if we did it right and carefully, it would work. And I think the whole process down the line of writing the song, of Paul Carrott singing it, the video, everything was done with a lot of care. And the end result turned out, I think, a very strong emotional statement. But at the time, you're not aware of how it would affect people.
Did you go through a lot of anxiety or stress in writing that? Was there?
It was, for me and BA, it was very upsetting. We had to stop a few times.
Yeah.
Just because it was it was a bit too close to home.
And Paul Carrick, what was your reaction when the song was presented to you and you were about to sing this? What were your feelings?
I really liked it very much indeed, and I kind of relate to it in my own way anyway. I mean, I lost my father when I was a little kid, and I know it had a very profound effect on me, but it's not really what the song is about, I know, but I just kind of I feel it's kind of a tribute to my own father in a way, my performance of it.
That's amazing that you get such a personal feeling out of that. That means the song works, very definitely. Tim, that's a good call. Let's find out what Tina has on her mind in Campbell, California. 97.3 The Rocker in San Francisco's our station there. Hi, Tina.
Hi, Bob. Gee, you're right on my favorite topic, Mike and Mechanics. Talking about the living years. For people who are 30 and over, because I just turned 30, so I can consider myself in that part, obviously the song has deep meaning for us, the living years, because of our parents possible dying or they already have. What do you think the reaction has been for people under 20 who probably are fighting with their parents and probably don't even care? And I have another question for you. Do you think it makes sense to them?
Yeah, funnily enough, we've all had, myself and both Pauls have had reactions from people after shows, and a lot of people who are over 30 and have lost parents, yes, they have that side. But I think the emotion in the song, which is, I think we managed to capture, that's my microphone there I hit, is such that I think kids at a younger age who don't really understand the lyrics still feel the emotion of the song.
Yeah.
And it still works.
Yeah. We played at college last night, and there were a couple of thousand kids out there, and maybe most of them haven't lost their parents yet, and maybe they're rebelling against some kind of parental control at the moment, going through college, but they still feel some kind of emotion from it, which is a kind of pointer.
Mike and the Mechanics on Rockline. Good work. Our next call is from Sherman, Texas. We have Kevin on the line, and he's listening to Q102 in Dallas. Good evening, Kevin.
Good evening. Hello, guys.
Hi.
Yeah. My question to you, in the living years,
Yes.
Who do y'all use the background vocals, the choir?
No, it's still good pointing at me, mate. You'll have to tell him.
Mike's pointing at Paul. Paul throws it back to Mike.
It was no, we passed it around. It was a choir that was, it's used by Andrew Lloyd Webber a few times. They're from King's College in Richmond, which is near London. And it's 12 guys who came down, and they do it kind of in their spare time and holiday times.
They're very angelic looking. Yeah. And they're very good at cards.
Good at cards.
Yeah, they came to do a TV show with this, right? They were in the dressing rooms upstairs.
They took all our wages from us.
Suddenly next door they're playing cards, you know, and asking who's got the beers.
This angelic-like choir.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. Good call, Kevin. Thank you. Let's talk to Janet now in Crown Point, Indiana. She's listening to the Loop FM 98 in Chicago. Hi, Janet.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good.
I have a question for Paul Young. Do you keep the gifts that fans would throw up to you on stage? Or
every single one.
Okay. Did you get the bandana I threw up to you in Maryville, Indiana?
I'm still wearing it.
No, he did.
I did. I'm still wearing it, yeah. Is that the one with the Indian one?
Yeah, the one with the beads on.
Yeah, thank you very much. I wondered who sent me that one.
Okay, yeah, well, that was me.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
got
still
your
wearing
bra,
it.
too.
Yeah.
The bra, too, huh? Okay.
I'm not wearing that, though.
Nice call, Janet. Thanks. We're going to talk now to Merrill in Charleston, South Carolina, and he is listening to 96 Wave FM in North Charleston, South Carolina. Hi there, Merrill.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Okay.
Yeah, it's very well.
Good. Yeah.
Hey, this one's directed to Mike. I know you probably write some songs at the Mechanics that may not make it onto the album. And I was wondering, do you think maybe they may surface up as B-sides or maybe even on Genesis album?
Yeah, in fact, later on tonight we're going to play the B-side, which didn't make it on the album. It's called, what's it called? Too Many Friends.
Yeah.
There are some songs that never actually get finished. I start them off and I change my mind. What tends to happen is I look upon them as B songs after a while, and they go in the trash can, and come the next album I tend to start with new stuff.
There you go, Merrill. Thank you for being on the Rockline tonight. We're going to talk to Bob now as we head to Shelton, Connecticut, and he is a listener of I-95 in Bridgeport and serving the Danbury area as well. Bob, you're on the Rockline with us. Hi there.
Hi, how are you? First, I'd like to say, Mike, I'm a obsessed Genesis fan. And second, I saw you guys recently on the David Letterman show, and you performed a song which I hadn't heard before. I was just wondering where the song is, if it's a B-side, if it can be obtained.
It's actually an old Marvin Gaye song, recorded about 1964 or 5, I think. Written by Smokey Robinson and the Miracles.
Ain't That Peculiar?
Yeah.
Was the song, yeah.
Yeah.
With 3 Pauls on stage at once there.
Yeah.
It was great.
Schaefer, Young, and Karen.
Yeah.
It was great fun, because I
it
think
was so good.
The idea of doing one of our songs excited us a little bit less, and they're a great band there.
They are indeed.
I've always, in fact, on this last album, I tried to get something that the 2 Pauls could kind of duet on, because something we haven't done yet in the Mechanics is to actually really have the 2 voices singing together.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't find the right song, but it's something that worked on the Letterman very well, and something we'll do in the future, I think.
Bob, good call. Thank you. We'll take a time out and return in just one moment with Mike and the Mechanics, Paul Young, Paul Carrick, and Mike Rutherford, my guests tonight on Rockline. I'm Bob Coburn. Call us toll-free, 1-800-344-ROCK. We're talking rock and roll on the Global Satellite Network. And Midge will be on 1 week from tonight along with Neil Sean. It's an evening with Mike and the Mechanics in progress right now. Back to the first LP, All I Need Is a Miracle on Rockline. Our next call from Las Cruces, New Mexico. Graham is on the line, a listener of 95.5 KLAQ in El Paso. Good evening, Graham.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. First, I'd just like to say to Mike that I've yet to hear a project by him solo or with a group that I haven't liked.
Thank you. What good taste do you have?
First Mike and the Mechanics album seemed to, have a lot of standard love songs on it and stuff like that. And the second album seems to be a bit more mature, a bit more sober. I'm wondering what was going on in your life during the, in the transition period between the two that made you change the general outlook of the album.
I'm not sure it's as intentional as you think. I'm a couple of years older. You might have heard earlier on the show about Living Years, which was a song that BA and I did. I think maybe as time goes on, myself and Chris Neal and BA Robertson feel a bit more able to comment on life and things like that. But it's not really intentional. And also the other reason, I think, is that the second album, I think, is more cohesive because we knew who was involved and who was singing and who was playing. So it has more sort of togetherness, I think.
Good call, Graham. Thank you for it. And call us again sometime in Rockline. We're going to let Debbie have her turn, and she is in Burlington, Vermont, listening to WRDU 106 in Raleigh, North Carolina. Wait a minute, that cannot be. Well, anyway, let's talk to Debbie now, and we'll clear this up in a second here. Hi, Debbie. How are you?
Hi, it's Burlington, North Carolina.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Hi, Mike and Paul.
Hello, Debbie. Hi.
Yeah, I saw your show in Raleigh, and I just wanted to say it was one of the best concerts I've ever seen.
All right.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
And my question is, was there an inspiration for the lyrics to Don't?
Not so much an inspiration. That was a me and Chris Neal song. I think I like the idea that, you know, boy's in the car with a girlfriend and boy puts his hand on his girlfriend's knee and slides it up, and all she ever says is don't. Maybe it's kind of autobiographical.
Yeah.
How about you, Paul?
Yeah,
what do they say to you?
The same thing.
The same thing, right?
Hey, don't.
And what did you say to her?
I'm not telling you.
Debbie, nice call. Thanks, and thanks for clarifying your geography for us there. We appreciate it. We're going to talk now to Dee in St. Louis. KC95 is our station. Dee, you're on the Rock Line.
Hi, Mike.
Hi.
Hi, Mike. Hi, Paul. Hi, Paul.
Hi there.
Hey, this is really thrilling to get through. I'm such a fan. I just love your work.
Oh, great.
I have a couple Genesis-related questions, and my first question is, I'm a collector of Genesis memorabilia, and I really love the books by Armando Gallo, and he appeared to be very close to the group. And do you still keep in contact with him? And if so, has he showed any interest in continuing the Genesis story in your solo career?
I haven't spoken to Mando for a couple of years. I think he's moved back to Italy. He used to live here in Los Angeles, but he moved back to Italy, I think, and is still writing and stuff. No, there's no talk of an update. I think one book is enough, actually.
Good call, Dee. There you go.
What was the second part?
Okay, and also, how do you handle criticism? I take it really hard, so if I hear how you handle it, maybe I can handle it better.
Well, I think you just got to get on with it. The trick is to disbelieve it all, I think.
Yeah.
Seriously,
right,
that's
but even the ones that say you're fantastic, you don't really believe them too much.
Well, maybe believe them ones a little bit more than the other ones. Yeah, more. Yeah, true.
Dee, thanks for being on the Rock Line tonight. It's Dave that we're going to talk to now in Philadelphia. 94 WYSP is our affiliate. Good evening, Dave.
Hi, guys.
How you doing?
My question's for Paul Carrick.
Yes.
I was wondering how you got associated with Roger Waters, and if you're going to be on his next album. I liked your work on Radio Chaos.
I don't know. I just met Roger. He's, London's a pretty small place, really, musically speaking. Everybody knows everybody and what everybody's up to. I think I met him through a friend of a friend sort of thing. I don't think I'll be involved with his next record, whatever that is. I did record some tracks with him, but I think he's... in fact, I think he recorded a whole album and then has scrapped it. That is the story that I've heard, and he's onto something else now altogether. But I doubt if I'll be involved. With the Mechanics and my own record, which I'll be making later in the year. I think that's kind of enough for me to be involved with at the moment.
Yeah, it's quite a bit right there, Dave. Good call. Thank you. We're going to now play a song that features Paul Carrick on vocals from the latest album by Mike and the Mechanics, Living Years. This is Nobody Knows on Rockline. Once again, welcome back to Rockline. It's an evening with Mike and the Mechanics and Bob Coburn. Back to the phones we go to Miami this time as we speak with Esther. She's listening to 97 GTR in Miami. Esther, you're on the Rockline with Mike and the Mechanics.
Hi, Mike, Paul, and Paul. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Thanks.
By the way, Paul, last month I saw you in Sunrise, you and the Mechanics, and you had broken toes.
Oh, yeah.
How are your toes?
They're getting better, thank you.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you fellows were thinking of releasing a concert film or a concert movie.
I'm not sure. At the moment, we're hoping to try and do some filming on the second leg of the North American tour, which is going to be sort of July, August time. But as for releasing it and how it'll come out, I'm not sure yet. But it'd be nice to get something on film this time of these wonderful guys.
We'll wait for that and see what happens.
And the broken toes.
And the broken
How
toes.
did you break it?
How did you break the toe? You got to ask that. You gotta
It's quite bizarre, actually. I was doing some kung fu on the drummer, and I missed and hit his drum riser, which was a metal grill thing, and I had bare feet, and I kicked it in about 2 inches. Unfortunately, flesh doesn't, react to metal too well. So.
No, not the case, yeah. All right, thanks, Esther. We appreciate it. We're going to talk to James now in Ottawa, Ontario. He's listening to Shea 106. Hi there.
Hi. Yeah, it's been a few years since I talked to you last. Your master tapes haven't been stolen, so I have new questions this time. B.A. Robertson, who is he? And,
he's
sort of, popular in the last little while?
Yeah, he's not English, he's a Scottish Scottish singer-songwriter who is now actually living here in Los Angeles. I started writing with him back in 1985. Prior to that, he's had quite a few English hits and a solo career of his own. And now he's, apart from stuff with me, he's writing with other people and is involved with a Disney film project and I think some other film projects.
As an actor?
No,
he is also an actor.
He is actually. In fact, he made a good little film. But
he's working on the music end of these projects.
I think he's more involved on the music and the script as well.
Now, I heard that you got a list of people possibly you could work with from your publicist, and he was the first guy.
I wanted to write songs with other people. It's always been my lifelong ambition to be a songwriter as such. And the publisher gave me a list of guys to work with, and Brown was at the top, BA was the top, and never got past it.
Just stopped there. James, nice call. Thanks. Let's move on now. Grand Rapids, Michigan's where we're headed. LAVFM is our station. We welcome Elizabeth. Hi.
Hi, Mike. Hi, Paul. Hi, Paul.
Hello.
My question is for you, Mike. What is your least favorite thing about touring? And I would just like to say thank you so much for writing The Living Years. I wish it would have been out 10 years ago. I had lost my father just before my 13th birthday, and that song brought back a lot of things I hadn't thought about for many years.
Thank you very much. I think the thing that you said dislike, but you really mean like about touring is when you get up in the morning and you have a plane flight and then a 5-hour wait over and then the next plane breaks down and then you have a 2-hour drive to the gig.
And you have a flat tyre.
And then you do the gig and then the tour book says drive to hotel after the show is 70 miles.
And it's 150.
Yeah, that's what we probably like most about touring, I think.
All those fun little things, yeah. Then there's that airplane food. Thank you, Elizabeth. What were you going to add there?
Well, no, I was only going to say that, I think the only reason we do it really is because of the... no, it can't be, can it? We can't just be for them couple of hours in a day. It's got to be more.
It's got to be more than that, yeah.
We live for the 2 hours.
All right, we're going to play a song now that is the B-side of The Living Years. This is called Too Many Friends on ROCKLINE on the Global Satellite Network. Too Many Friends, Mike and the Mechanics on ROCKLINE. That is the B-side of Living Years. Now, why did that not make it on the album? Just out of curiosity.
I think the reason is that the other songs are better.
You think so, really?
I disagree.
Yeah.
I
know you're going to get some disagreement from Mr. Young over here.
Which one would you have thrown off?
I can't say.
Oh, classified.
Job security.
Job security. That's good. I take it that's not something you're doing live then. You're concentrating on other material.
No, mind you, it sounded quite good then. I quite enjoyed it.
Actually, yes. See, that's why I bring that up.
It's a really good track. It's a fantastic track.
That's in a nice groove there. All right, let's talk to Gene now, Nashville, Tennessee. 103 KDF is our affiliate. Gene, you're on the ROCKLINE.
Hello, Mike, Paul, and Paul.
Hello.
Hello. My question is, how were the Pauls chosen for the particular songs that they sang?
Well, I can answer that. Mike was looking for the two best singers in the world, and he couldn't get them, so Paul and I jumped in there.
Yeah, mainly looks, height, and sex appeal was the main deciding factor. No, to be honest, I mean, I sort of choose, but I think it's almost decided for me, although they may disagree, when they both sing a song down.
Paul sings the rocky ones and I sing the wimpy ones.
Yeah. I've been described as the beast.
And we describe Paul as the beauty.
Yeah.
it's almost decided for me, because you'll find that when they sing a song that one of them will actually, they both sound good, but one will sound very special.
Well, we disagree again, of course.
Yeah.
A good call, Gene. Thank you. We appreciate it. We're going to speak with Laura now in Terrace, British Columbia. She's listening to Radio TK in Prince Rupert, British Columbia. And head to Canada for Laura's call here. Hi there. How are you?
Hi.
Hi.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello. Good evening.
Hi. My question is, well, first I'd like to thank you for writing The Living Years. It's such a beautiful song, and I'm sure it's brought a tear to many people's eye. My question is, you've stayed away from working with big producers up to now. In the future, do you plan on working with any big names? And maybe, are you planning on working, or producing your own albums?
Well, I don't know if Chris Neal sees himself as a small producer.
He's quite diminutive, actually, isn't he? He's not very tall.
He lives nearby, which is a big is a big factor. And he has his car and he drives, so that's a big factor. He comes to my house. I don't know. I haven't. I don't really think very far ahead about.
It's all right, Mike. He's not listening.
Chris, we love you.
Wherever you are.
I've no idea. I mean, a guy I'd like to work with is Tom Lord Alge. At some stage, in some project, he's on my list of people I like to work with.
Steve Winwood comes to mind when you mention his name. Yeah, very good producer. Laura, good call. Thank you. Let's talk to Larry now in Salina, Kansas. He's listening to Power 94.5 in Junction City, Kansas. Larry, you're on the show with us.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello. Good evening.
Mike, it's an absolute honor to speak with you. You're a true gentleman, and you've come a long way since Charterhouse.
I hope so.
My first question, are you doing any songs from Small Creeks Day or Acting Very Strange on your tour?
No, we're not. I mean, we play now as the Mechanics. We play an hour and 45 minutes of just purely mechanic stuff, and I think it's working very well, and we're having a good time, and I think I'm happy to leave it that way.
So you're leaving it to Mike and the Mechanics material. You're not doing any Ace or Squeeze or Sand Cafe or anything like that?
No, not at the moment. Although there's nice stuff that I like there. I think it's quite nice to make it the Mechanics tour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you have another question, Larry?
Yes, please. Mike, have you spoken with Steve Hackett lately, and did the subject of possible future musical collaboration come up?
We saw Steve. He came to see our show in London at Hammersmith Odeon when we played in London a couple of months ago. And no, it's nice to see him. I don't really see any future things. I mean, I think my approach is that I've worked with Steve for many years and had a good time, but I mean, the Mechanics is a new project, and we're finding out about each other all the time, and I prefer to go in that direction with a new thing.
Larry, there you are. Thank you. We have to take a time out. We'll return in just one moment. Still time for you to call at 1-800-344-ROCK. It's ROCKLINE on the Global Satellite Network with Mike and the Mechanics. And once again, welcome back to ROCKLINE. We have Mike and the Mechanics playing Nobody's Perfect for you from the latest album on the Global Satellite Network. Time for a couple of more calls before the band departs this evening. And next is from Southfield, Michigan. It's Steve, a listener of Riff in Detroit, WRIF. Good evening, Steve.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Mike. Paul.
Hello.
I was wondering what kind of input as far as what is released as a single. Like, did you release Nobody's Perfect, all the others? Did you do it in a certain order, or do you have that kind of input?
No, I mean, I think if I said something to Atlantic, they'd and I was very strong about it, they'd argue their case. The first single I thought should have been Living Years, and I told everybody that, and they all disagreed all around the world, so I thought I must be wrong. But I think I was right.
Well, when it gets to number one, I think you can say that, yeah. Thank you, Steve. We appreciate it. Let's talk to John now in Ann Arbor, Michigan, listening again to WRIF in Detroit. John, you're on the ROCKLINE with Mike and the Mechanics.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Fine. Okay.
Thanks for the show last week in Ann Arbor. It was great. I just wanted to know, in the concert, you played a longer version of Nobody Knows. Did you originally write it as the longer version, or did you cut it down for the album, or did you extend it for the show?
It really evolved in the rehearsals, I think it's true to say, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think...
Tim was a new factor to that one, actually, wasn't
Yeah, I mean, that isn't the only song that's changed live. I mean, I think one day, somewhere down the line, I can see a Mike and the Mechanics live, because some of the versions have changed drastically.
Dramatically.
Yeah, for the better.
John, thank you for being on the Rockline. Thanks to everybody for listening and calling tonight. Our address is P.O. Box 4383, Hollywood, California, 90078. Next week, we have solo artist and former Journey and Santana guitarist Neil Schon, along with former Ultravox leader Midge Ure. And then coming soon, check this lineup. This is a strong lineup. The Fabulous Thunderbirds, the original Doobie Brothers, Jackson Browne, Tom Petty, Stevie Nicks, and a special edition of Rockline with Paul McCartney. Check with your local affiliate concerning that. Special thanks tonight to Tony Smith, to Cheryl Gordon, and to Tony Mandich, and of course to Mike Rutherford, Paul Young, and Paul Carrick. Nice to have you here, gentlemen. Thanks again for another fun night,
Bob.
Thank you very much.
I'm BC, and I'll be seeing you.
The wine was good.
In a week. Thank you. You've been listening to Rockline, brought to you in part by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Rockline is engineered by Jimmy Height, Conrad Pignon, Jim Pettyjohn, and Jeff Levy, and mixed on Yamaha professional sound equipment. Musical instruments are provided by the Guitar Center in Hollywood. Special production by Jimmy Rash and R.J. Lane. Technical direction by Mike Correa. Our assistant to the producer, Sharon Sanchez. Thanks to Kevin Stevens and Greg Jernigan for their special help. Rockline is produced by Mark Felsot. Executive producer, Howard Gilman. Rockline is a presentation of the Global Satellite Network for distribution in the United States by the ABC Radio Network and in Canada by Telemedia Broadcasting Systems.